This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino here on a 3-hour football Friday. Primarily college football, the playoffs, and also Week 16 of the National Football League. Great guest today, Pat Forty on college football coming up in 30 minutes. Mike Somich every Friday, best bets in the NFL. John Tulte, college football in 90 minutes. And Doug Kazarian, final hour of the program. He thinks there is a bet after last night's game that is free money. And we'll talk to him about that at that point. Okay, so let me just bring this up. And I have listened to zero radio and watched zero television since the game ended last night, other than Jonathan Von Tobel on Money Moves on my way in today. I don't know if anybody else has said this, whatever. But on the 2-point conversion, right, where I feel like they're duping America with this call. The players had no idea. The coaches, us fans, like, what? Get out of here. This is a prank. Stop it. So you're telling me that when this happens again, and I should probably believe that it will because we still have idiots in this league dropping the ball at the goal line. Hello, Arizona and Tennessee. So when this happens again on a backward pass and the whistle is blown and the play is, quote, not dead, when a defender from the opposing team picks it up and tries to take it back for a 2-point conversion or a touchdown, and a superstar quarterback decides to take off after him to tackle him, but the defender has a convoy and that quarterback gets smoked and knocked on his ass, which then the end result would be a brawl because his teammates would stick up for him. You're telling me there's going to be no flag? Then there's going to be no fines? There's going to be no suspensions? It's going to be legal play. That's 2 points the other way or touchdown the other way. Are you serious? Get out of here with this crap. What was that, Paul?
Yeah, that's a bizarre and a tough way to decide a 1 seed. And the fact that Terry has to come in, the play's over. I heard a whistle. Warren Sharp heard a whistle. Other people heard a whistle. And just, 2-3 minutes later, it's okay. Well, it counts. He picked the ball up. And even that just to think that decided. And I know they blew it. I mean, the Seattle was 2% to win it with 9 minutes left. And it's only the 6th time ever that a team puts up those stats, plus 3 in the turnover battle, and they lose. And the special teams got them again. But that is just a horrible way to decide a 1 seed. And you just feel sick and dirty if you have Rams futures with how that was decided, where the up in the booth, next to Al Michaels, McCauley has to point it out and say, hey, this is going to be a successful 2-point conversion because everyone assumes the play's over, but one guy just happened to pick it up and grab it.
Yeah, and he tweeted then after the game, let me make this perfectly clear, whether a whistle is blown or not is completely irrelevant. Who knows about this? Who knew before the play last night? What are you doing here to us?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying here? And everything that you just said is exactly accurate. I feel like a dead man walking today with my Rams futures. And I did have the Seahawks last night, and I bet them live a couple of times. I was hoping I would lose those bets. Because the 1 seed here, know what happens, by the way, if the Rams get surpassed by the 49ers? Mm-hmm. How far they get? So the 49ers can become the 1 seed if they are the 1 seed if they win out.
I know. Michaels was all over that. That's incredible. And now you're really seeing steam for Shanahan, Coach of the Year, and also they could host the Super Bowl. I mean, this is set up beautifully for the 49ers. I still think they'll take a loss here at some point, but still how it's set up. And Seattle only $1.40 to win the division, and that's why the game was so huge. I hate this, where the winner of a bad division gets to host, and it's Minnesota, Detroit all over again, where the difference between a 1 and a 5, and maybe we get round 3 with these guys coming up. But it just feels dirty how it was decided. In any event, an incredible game. They go 3 for 3 on 2-point tries. It's again, McVay, they can't get a first down, and you're also Seattle's playing the clock there. And you get in the special teams. They have blown all 4 games that they've lost. They've blown the game.
Yep.
The special teams got them in the Philly game. The special teams got them good in this one. Thicker kicker finally misses. You get the Shaheed return. He's not even touched.
Nope.
Again, it's only happened 6 times. You can't lose a game like that. Seattle was 40-1 in play with 7 minutes left, down 16. and they win the game in the first time ever someone has a walk-off 2-point conversion to win it in overtime.
By the way, very important landing spot, and I really hope people were not, and I know Derek Stevens came on after us in primetime last night. They took several seven-figure bets on Seattle. And I hope people were not laying 1.5 or 2. I hope they were betting at that point Seattle on the money line.
Yeah.
Because the landing spots for a game to come out and be at 1 when it's right around that, the entire time this week, various books, Rams -1, 1.5, switching over to Seattle the other way. You could not lay 1.5 or 2 with Seattle last night if you were late to the party. Yep. I hope you didn't anyway.
Yep. I reached out to a couple people. It was a horrible landing spot for a couple books. Small loser at the Westgate, and then not so much here with the result on the game. It's bad for Seattle futures as Circa gets hurt by Seattle division, NFC, and Super Bowl.
So when I'm watching that game last night, I'm thinking, I'm actually having the conversation with JVT. Who's going to slow down that version of the Rams offense? And that's the version we've gotten almost pretty much the entire year. And McVay came out with a game plan against the best rush defense, EPA-wise, in the entire league and said, don't care what the numbers say. You guys aren't going to slow us down. Here comes Kyren Williams right up the gut.
Yeah.
And we're going to get 6-8 yards a pop. Good luck. And they were destroying Seattle. And Darnold looked lost again. Couple of INTs. Awful job by him again last night. And with no Devontae Adams, Stafford cooked to the tune of 457 yards. Like, who's beating that team? The answer, themselves. That's it. Only team that can beat them.
Yep.
They're a machine. They should be undefeated.
What's happened to this defense?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Thing. You saw how Goff cut him up? What happened in the second half against Philadelphia? What happened here against Darnold? As much as we made about the special teams, you can't give up a 16-point lead defensively. You got to stop Sam Darnold here. You got to stop something. You can't score 37 on the road when you're playing for the 1 seed and lose the game.
Absolutely not.
That's terrible.
Completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
So now they're kind of up against it. They could still be the 1 seed, but they need a lot of help at this point. And it's unreal that it's going to come down to this potentially with now Seattle and San Francisco playing in the final week, right? And by the way, Seattle is probably going to be in a tough spot when they go on the road and take on Carolina in Week 17. And everything now, the Matthew Stafford MVP numbers during the game when it was a blowout, he got as high as, that I saw, minus 1,400. So you're telling me after 457 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he didn't play a lick of defense or special teams, and that's why they lost, he came back to minus $2? Like, he should be, again, I will say this, and this is from somebody who has Drake May on a big ticket. Matthew Stafford should be unanimous again. Minus $2 should be minus 1,000 right now.
Fair enough. Right. They are bizarre markets.
Yeah.
And the fact that, are you going to get the MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year from a 5 seed? That I can't see. And you see the move from Puka from 16-1 down to 2-1, yet JSN has 100 yards and a touchdown, and they win the game. I don't know. It's like the Henderson thing. You just can't go from 20-1 to the favorite or 16-1 to the favorite based on one game. These seasons are too long.
Yeah. So Puka actually right after the game at DraftKings, and I tweeted this out, he turned into a $1.35 favorite at DraftKings. He was the favorite. Now this is probably how it's going to shake out because they have a very easy schedule. The last 2 games, bad defenses. Puka is probably going to lead the league in receptions and yards, and he might catch JSN for touchdowns. I don't know if either guy can overtake Devontae. Devontae's got 14 touchdowns, and overall, JSN has 10 receiving, and Puka Nacua has 8, I believe, in the air and 1 on the ground, so 9 total. But he's probably going to lead the league in he's like 40 yards behind him now. He's probably going to catch him there too. Mm-hmm. And he went back-to-back games now, 165-plus yards in the air. Now, I don't know if he's doing any favors here this week with what he was talking about and the nonsense he pulled off the field, if he's going to win over any voters that way.
No, yeah, that could play a role. He's acting weird. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
And also at least one book, maybe multiple books, Mike Macdonald's the coach of the year short shot now.
Yeah, but that's probably comes down to the San Francisco game too. Because I know the love for Shanahan's right there. Mm-hmm. But this is, and what does Vrabel do Sunday night? But I think at some point the Patriots' schedule could come back to bite them in terms of the awards as well. And it's just, that's another crazy market about what's going on. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot on the line here the last couple of games.
How often does the game of the year on paper actually live up to it like true. Last night?
And you were going to mention it on air, but overtime was 12-1.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was over. And then all these crazy props come in. Quarterback throws for 400. They both combined for 700 passing yards. Puka and JSN combined for over 300 receiving. You get the special teams. You get the 2-point try conversion. You had everything that cashed in that one, and Kramer did it again with Charbonnet.
Did Puka go? I know JSN did not.
Puka did not have a catch in the second quarter. Are you kidding me?
He didn't.
No.
I was going to say
he had 12 for 220, but did not have a catch in the second quarter. That's why this stuff is it's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why this stuff, boy, that's easy. Puka was not going to have a catch and it's plus money? Come on.
Yeah,
He didn't do it in the second quarter. And then it was just like the Thursday night game against Arizona, where they can't get JSN the ball for an entire half, and he eats in the second half.
That's right.
That's it.
0 at halftime.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, it's a funny game.
I just assumed that Puka did clear all that. 5 yards every quarter, a couple catches,
right.
every quarter, 10 yards every quarter, whatever.
He had 4 in the first quarter and then disappeared and then just went wild in the second half.
Well, he had the one bet as well. 50 yards in both halves came in.
Yeah.
He must have been close to like 75 yards. Did he have 74 at halftime?
Yes, he did.
So he would not have had 75 yards in each half.
Yes.
Damn. That was.
But that's something we talk about, though. That's great to bet in play, though, with the props. They're like, they don't have an answer for him.
Sure, yeah.
They're not going to slow him down.
Yeah, a bunch of books do that now. That was, I don't know. I also, my biggest takeaway is, you're right. The Rams special teams and defense probably going to be an issue in the playoffs. I don't want to overreact to one game. I don't think Seattle's coming out of the NFC. I don't think that's going to happen.
Wow. After the win. Okay. Rams got a lot of things to clean up and fix.
Yeah,
but the positives are they've blown 4 games.
Oh, Seattle got so lucky last night. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
And Darnold was awful for a half again.
Mm-hmm.
Tip my cap. He showed up when it mattered most, but he was not great before that. More NFL games. Teams are 14 and 32 straight up in this spot over a sample size of the last 46 games.
Playoff is here, and VSiN's betting guide is your ticket to cashing in. For just $14.99, you'll get expert previews of every first-round matchup, playoff brackets from VSiN hosts and insiders, and the sharp insight you can't get anywhere else. Or skip the line and get it free with a VSiN Pro subscription. Go to VSiN.com/CFP to purchase the guide and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
On the next edition of Prop Points, we'll start off the show reacting to all the action from NFL Sunday, and we'll see how many of our favorite player props cashed out. The Week 16 Monday Night Football matchup is between the Indianapolis Colts, who are hosting the San Francisco 49ers. The grinder, Tom Brawley from FantasyPoints.com, will join the program per usual to give out his favorite props for Monday night. And, of course, I'll have a Monday night special. I'm John Hansen. Tune in to Monday's edition of Prop Points at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
There's also this from last night. I did sit Matthew Stafford in my one fantasy league. That was a fun result. He had 49 points.
That's why I'm so pissed off. We were promised weather, and it was all these guys. I mean, it's a guessing game. We know it. But a 4-point move on the total, and it's nothing. It rained for like 5 minutes. Yeah. That's it, and there was hardly any wind.
I'm never going to get duped. I made this it was Bart Simpson writing chalk on the board last night. I'm never going to get duped by the Seattle weather ever again for an NFL game. Again, like 15 years ago, whatever it was, they're playing a Monday night game, 100% chance of rain. Like, this is going to look then not a drop the entire time. And then yesterday, the winds, the rain, watch, and then it just cleared up. Arash Markazi comes on live from Seattle. Guys, perfect.
I know.
I might as well be in L.A. right now.
Nothing, yes.
Okay. We do have 2 games this weekend as well. Tomorrow's schedule is on fire. Say what you want about the NFL with these games going up against the college football spots that we have, but Eagles are taking on the Commanders. Packers are at the Bears. And I do have a bet on the Bears. I took them at plus 1.5 earlier in the week, Paul. They have moved to a 2-point favorite at some books here in town. What do you make of that move here?
Yeah, I need the Packers for futures here. But again, the domination and how they've owned them. Played a great game. The last win, I know it was bad defensively what transpired against Denver, but Caleb Williams and the Bears have to prove it here. Total ownage by Green Bay. You're down a couple wide receivers. 12th ranked rushing attack. See if they can get going against Green Bay and without Parsons, and they're feeling a little down about themselves. But it's going to be cold. And it's going to be gusts of wind. Again, like last night, that came in. But I'd look longest made field goal under 50.5 in this game. But I would be a little bit surprised if the Bears win based on history and how Green Bay has had their number. But we'll see if they're feeling sorry for themselves or if they can dial something up defensively. They should be ticked off after what happened now. The offense played so well, and they couldn't get stops against Bo Nix.
Yeah, here's what you're talking about, right? And Steve Mackinnon has all the numbers at VSiN.com. The Packers are 14-1 straight up. 12-3 ATS, last 15 trips to Chicago. Think about that for a second. But they did lose the game last year. Also against divisional opponents since 2019, Green Bay 24-15-1. There's an angle here that the Packers could actually go undefeated in their division this year. Think about that. And it's like, well, and we had a 15-win team, a 14-win team, and the Packers were, an 11-win playoff team last year? They could go undefeated in the North this year. Like, yeah, sorry, guys. You have too many injuries. You're really not going to be a factor in the NFC. Come on. That stinks. But I also took a little bit more Ben Johnson, 14-1 coach of the year. He drifted way out there last night after what took place with Mike McDonald. They win this game. Right. They win that division.
They get San Francisco on that Sunday night.
That might be a loser leaves town match again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
The first game, and we can finally put this to bed. It's a hat and T-shirt game for the Eagles. If they win, then that streak comes to an end. You haven't had a repeat champ in the division since 2004. Eagles won it 2001 through 2004, up to 7 now against Washington. Hard to see Washington getting stops in this game. We'll see if Mariota can get anything going on the ground with his feet, or also what the Washington can do with the rushing attack. But the positives last week were they got Barkley going the last couple of games, and you would think they should be able to move the ball offensively and get points against a bad Washington defense that's had all kinds of issues other than that nice performance Sunday night against Denver.
Shout out to the fellas on the Sports Gambling Podcast. By the way, their show tonight, the Friday edition, is at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific right here on the network. I was listening to their podcast earlier, and they were talking nothing but, obviously bets and props that they like for this week. And Ryan Kramer put me on this one. Marcus Mariota's rushing attempts. He's had 10 2 out of the last 3 games. He had 10 against Denver for 55 yards, a game that they almost won. The Giants game last week, he had 10 for 43 in a game they did win in control. The game against Minnesota, well, they were blasted from the onset of that game. So he only had 2 carries.
Yep.
You figure if they can actually maybe hang into this game, if it turns into a blowout, might not happen, but his rushing attempts prop is 7.5 over his plus money. That's part of his game. It's who he is. It's what he does.
That's not a bad angle.
I don't mind that one.
Yeah.
And then we both have bets on, this is one of the marquee games of the entire day. We both have bets on the Broncos -3. Again, the number here, Jacksonville's been on fire. Again, all you can do is tip your cap. Defense has been awesome. They're turning teams over left and right. Lawrence played the game of his career last week. Also some weak competition here lately. Now it's circa 3.5. And he's got to go up against this awesome defense here in Denver. And I think it's going to come back to earth for him a little bit. And this number to me should have been around 4. And that's why I took Denver -3.
Yeah, plus the Jets angle's funny, too. But you can laugh. It works.
Yeah.
1 and 12 ATS.
I know.
So during the winning streak, they're thumping teams, and they're averaging 33 a game last 7. But this is where I think Knicks was so good at home and how well they played at home with this long winning streak that they'll it's the same thing here with Chicago and Jacksonville. You can say they're good, but you also have to realize the luck factor because Chicago's plus 20 in the turnover differential and Jacksonville's plus 10. But in takeaways, Chicago has 30 and Jacksonville has 26.
That's wild.
Is this going to continue every single game? I mean, to me, you can't bank on this, and at some point, it's going to go the other way. Yeah. So 30 takeaways and 26 takeaways. So you're turning people over. But now, as you get to take out good teams, you see Love, you see Bo Nix. I don't think you can count on this, and it's not going to happen. And then you're going to have to make a lot more plays on offense, and then that's where I think you're going to lose.
There's also this. So and the Jags obviously did not play to their level of competition last week against the Jets. They blew them out. But they had been doing that a little bit recently. And again, a great nugget here from Steve Mackinnon on the website. NFL teams that won their last 4 games outright while outscoring opponents by fewer than 30 points total in that span. 67-15 straight up and 52-28 and 2 ATS. Next game went favored. Mm-hmm. I flipped that. That's actually on Denver. And that's what Denver has done, playing down to their level of competition for the most part. And so the next game in this spot historically says it's a win, and 65% of the time it's been a cover here for the home favorite, and that would be Denver. The Sunday night game, huge implications here. Baltimore's been good in prime time.
Especially if Detroit wins. And it also helps out the Ravens big time. You're right.
Yeah, yep. Baltimore, 29-15 straight up, 26-17 and 1 ATS, last 44 Thursday, Sunday, Monday night. While the Thanksgiving night did not go well for them, and the Monday night game earlier this year against Detroit also did not go well. What do you make here?
Well, you got injuries with New England, and this is this stat that's incredible with Lamar Jackson. Weeks 15 through 18, he's 16-0, straight up. Do they beat themselves again? It's been the story much of the season. Silly turnovers, but also the slow starts. 12-2 to their under, first half team total. Too much talent. Too many playmakers to have that stat, and Monken has to do a better job. I would try to establish Henry early and see if they can have success through the air. And certainly what Josh Allen did in the comeback win, it made it look pretty easy in the second half. But it's a tough game. And again, you're going to have weather and gusts, cold. I would look longest made field goal under. But it goes back to, if I still think Baltimore is going to be a force here and can have a deep run come January. If they get in and they don't beat themselves, which they always have these poor performances or a silly turnover, like the Cincinnati game, the Pittsburgh game, and you walk away saying this team's so talented. How is this their record, and how are they going to miss the playoffs potentially?
Now, if Travion Henderson is the lead back here for the Patriots.
Well, that's fingers crossed.
In this game. You're right. Is he going to go off against this team? I mean, he's got the talent. We saw that run last week against Buffalo, and Buffalo's run defense has been terrible, but he's going to go right. No, cuts it back left, and then we'll see you later. Here come the afterburners. Nobody's going to catch me. So, very elusive, awesome running back overall. But against the Ravens defense, they've been playing better football here after they got guys back and a little bit healthier. I want to know what kind of game he's going to have.
I would say 70 yards and a touchdown, and then you watch what happens in the Tampa Bay game. If those two guys cancel each other out, then I would say he stays the favorite.
Unless Shuck goes for 300 and
could happen to
a couple touchdowns.
Right. Then how much does he move? Which he figures to move the ball against this atrocious Jets defense. But I still think 70 yards and a touchdown's a good game, and he should win the award.
The Opta AI stats that you can get, go to vsin.com/NFL props. DraftKings number on him right now, 56.5. Opta AI have him going for about 40. They have him going for about 45 yards in the game, so under his rushing prop total in that one. And I will pay off the tease here. Sunday night football teams coming off of a loss, not ready for big time prime time, as they have gone 14-32 straight up, 16-30 ATS, last 46. That'd be New England, off a loss, playing Sunday night. Also, as a dog post Tom Brady, 2021, 19-28 2 ATS. They had a lot of bad quarterback play there, and some sketchy coaching as well for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
before they kind of figured it out here recently.
We're here on Christmas. Holidays may slow down, everyone else down, but not VSiN. While you're celebrating, traveling, or taking a rare day off, we'll be live all Christmas Day. Wall-to-wall betting coverage, triple header in the NFL, 5 games in the NBA. It starts with VSiN by the books, followed by a numbers game and a special edition of Live Bet Christmas to get you through the early action. In the afternoon and evening, follow the money, VSiN prime time and cashing out. Bowl season, NFL action, NBA holiday slate. VSiN is your home for holiday betting coverage. Everyone's going to do a great job on Christmas. Keep it here. Keep it locked.
You have a bet on Alabama tonight in the bowl game that starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
I would think it could be an ugly game. How about the fact you could tease the game down to 33 with the total?
How about that? Or would you want to go the other way? We'll talk to Pat Forty. Does a great job covering this sport. We'll get his thoughts, who he likes in that game, and the other 3 games in the first round tomorrow here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Got a good thing coming. Just wait and see. It's a good.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
The first round of the college football playoffs gets underway tonight. Oklahoma up to a 1.5-point favorite. Total is down to 40.5. 3 more games tomorrow. And the great Pat Forty joins the program now. Sports Illustrated on X at @ByPat40. He's on the Progressive guest line. Pat, good afternoon. Pleasure to talk to you as always. How are you?
Hey, doing well, guys. Ready for a good week of playoff football.
Same here. Yep. Let's begin with the 2 dogs that we have tomorrow. A couple things. Do you like either side with monster favorites here? And then what happens if we do get 2 blowouts for the future of the little guy here in the college football playoff?
Yeah, I mean, given the numbers, I think James Madison has a chance to cover. Tulane might have a chance too, but having already played Mississippi and lost by 35, and the number is half of that, I'm still a little leery of that. But I am concerned about the dismissal of those teams already. Not just that they can't win, but they don't belong and they shouldn't be there. And hearing, like from Joel Klatt and Nick Saban, I was infuriated, frankly, by what they had to say. It's completely antithetical to the way college sports has always been run, which national tournaments mean national tournaments, which mean not just 3 or 4 conferences get all the bids and all the access. And the little guys, quote unquote little guys, get a chance to show what they can do. And to run an incredibly popular men's basketball and women's basketball tournament the way we do, and to have people like Joel Klatt saying it's terrible, it's a bad tournament, it's ridiculous. The fiber or the character of what makes the NCAA basketball tournament is Fairleigh Dickinson getting a chance and actually doing it. Does it happen every year? Heck no. Do they get blown out most of the time? Yes, but sometimes they win. Sometimes St. Peter's wins 2 or 3 games. Mm-hmm. Sometimes George Mason goes to the Final Four. To take away the chances is terrible, and to have already built up this kind of, like, if they get blown out, it's going to show how bad it is. I was there last year when Tennessee from the SEC was down 21-0 after 3 possessions against Ohio State. That wasn't a good game. Nobody said Tennessee doesn't belong. Take away their bid. I was there when Oregon was behind 34-0 in the first half against Ohio State. I didn't hear anybody say, "Oh, Oregon shouldn't be in the tournament." Blowouts happen in tournaments. Blowouts happen in the early rounds. They do in the NFL playoffs. They do in the college football playoffs. They do in basketball. That's the way these things work. It doesn't mean they don't belong or shouldn't have any access.
Great rant. Well done. Excellent. Totally agree. You have an excellent article up at Sports Illustrated. You can check it out, everyone, and you tweeted it out as well. Who's under the most pressure? So even though your rant's spot on, there's pressure on a group of 5. I was surprised you have DeBoer number 2 on your ranking. But how big is this for DeBoer, especially if it isn't pretty tonight?
Yeah, I think there's definitely pressure on him. I mean, again, part of it is just the timing of being the Alabama coach after Nick Saban. But still, he is 19-7, I believe, right now as the Alabama coach. That's not great. And you lost your last game by 3 touchdowns, and the committee basically did you a favor by letting you in the tournament at this point. You better show up. You better show up and play well, and there's going to be fans that want you out if you lose this game, and it's a second straight loss. And there's this Michigan thing still hanging out there. He has said he's not leaving. Let's see what happens when the season is over. If Michigan is still open, and if they lose tonight, there's going to be a whole new round of questions for him tonight and tomorrow. Do you really want to be the Alabama coach, or do you have designs on Michigan? Because I am not fully convinced yet that is a dead storyline. So a lot of pressure on Alabama, I think, tonight.
Excellent. Your number 1 guy was Pete Golding, and you're going to the game tomorrow, and you're going to find out actually how much they hate Kiffin. But what do you think of this? Hey, this is the biggest game in the history of the program. What if they're not impressive or, God forbid, they lose the game? Is that why you have him at number one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, they could have kept Lane Kiffin to coach that game. Lane Kiffin wanted to coach it. Now, the way he handled himself, I think it's become more clear why, they told him to hit the road. But he did want to coach it, and you could have had your coach, and you said, no, get out of here. We're fine with our guy Pete over here, who's never been a head coach, and we're going to put him in charge. And not just as an interim coach, we're going to make him the permanent head coach of a good SEC school, when nobody was dying to hire Pete Golding in the SEC as a head coach. And all of a sudden they're not just doing it, they're doing it full time. So a lot of pressure, I think, on Pete. You've got to win this game. You've got to be able to put the Lane Kiffin drama behind and say, you know what, we're still a viable program without Lane.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Pat Forty, he is on the Progressive Guest Line. Sports Illustrated on X at @ByPat40. What do you make of the flip of favorites in this game tonight in Norman? Alabama was sitting there at about 1.5 point favorite for a good solid week, and since then, Pat, Oklahoma's turned into a 1 or 1.5 point favorite in this game.
Interesting. I mean, it's a true toss-up. I think it is interesting that Oklahoma won in Tuscaloosa and was an underdog, and it wasn't that long ago. But I think that goes to it was an unusual game, right? I mean, Alabama dramatically outgained them. There was just a few key plays that went Oklahoma's way. Neither team finished the season very impressively, I didn't think. So you're looking at two offenses that I think are going to struggle, especially running the ball. Which quarterback can make some plays? And look, John Mateer does a lot with his legs, but his passing has not been good, especially as the season's gone on. And maybe the thumb injury just never healed properly because he didn't give it time. But I think Ty Simpson his season has not been what it started out to be. But I still think that Simpson is the better quarterback in this game, and they have the better passing game. So I think that's first 1 to 20 wins the game. And we'll see who that is.
Yeah. How about tomorrow morning? It's a great story that Miami gets in, and the turnaround defensively. They haven't allowed more than 17 points the last 4 games. Do you trust Beck and Cristobal, though, catching 3.5?
That's the question there, Paulie. You're right. I mean, it's Corey Heatherman was a great hire, defensive coordinator, and he's done well. And they're good on both lines of scrimmage, offense and defense. Miami is. Texas A&M's another team that really didn't finish the season all that well. Really bad second half against Texas, really bad first half against South Carolina. They're going to have 105,000 people there going crazy. The first, the biggest game A&M's played in maybe ever, which is saying something for that place. So home field advantage, we'll see how much that helps. But I think you're looking at the two quarterbacks, and you're looking at Beck and Reed and seeing two guys that when they're on, they're outstanding. But sometimes they're not on, and then things get really sideways. And if one of them is going to throw 2 or 3 interceptions, that could make the difference there. I'm going to lean Miami, but I don't have great conviction on it.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to a quarterfinal matchup here, a potential matchup anyway, assuming that Oregon wins the game tomorrow. They'll get Texas Tech, a very polarizing team, strong opinions on both sides. Either people are in on this team completely, think they can win the entire thing, or else I've heard others, a lot of other people say about competition that they played this year, no good, it's going to catch up with them. What would you make of an Oregon-Texas Tech quarterfinal game?
Going to be fascinating when it comes to that, and I do expect it. And then I think, the question there is Tech's offense, if it's good enough, it's consistent. Now, Baron Morton, the quarterback, there are times he will make throws. You're like, well, that's an NFL quarterback. And then there are times you're like, I'm not sure he should be an FCS quarterback. I mean, he can make some really bad throws too. So the accuracy comes and goes. They struggle in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. And I think Oregon's a tough team to play in that respect, because I think Oregon, that's a complete team. Well, this is you can tell Dan Lanning is the coach there, and no disrespect to Chip Kelly or the other coaches they've had, but they're so much better defensively than virtually any Oregon team I've seen. And so, I think that they're going to make it hard for them to score. And I think Oregon just has enough weapons, depending on the health of their receivers, probably to outscore Texas Tech in what would be a moderate point game. That's a 27-24, 27-21 kind of game, I would think.
Mm-hmm. He does a great job covering the sport. You can read him at Sports Illustrated. Follow him on X at @ByPat40. Love talking to you, Pat. Enjoy the game tonight and the 3 games tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure.
Be good.
Appreciate it.
There you go. And he was on the Progressive guest line.
Great article. I would disagree with him, though. I think DeBoer is the guy under the most pressure. And that could really become an interesting story if they lose tonight, if what happens with DeBoer.
I got a great tweet earlier today. How about a two-leg parlay? Oklahoma wins, DeBoer takes the Michigan job. I told the person, I love where your head's at.
Yeah. You see this stat? They haven't lost to the same team twice?
Since like 1890
something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible. Win some, lose some coming up next, and I will give you a great trend in a game featuring 2 of the worst teams in the entire league next here on VSiN.
Want to bet smarter this holiday season? VSiN's Pro Holiday Special is the perfect gift. Get VSiN Pro access through May 1st for just $79. That's daily best bets, real-time splits, AI-powered prop projections, 24/7 video, and expert coverage of every major sport, from college bowls and NFL playoffs to March Madness and the Masters. Plus, postseason betting guides to make you a sharper bettor. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. While you're celebrating, traveling, or taking a rare day off, VSiN will be live all Christmas Day. Your morning starts with VSiN by the books, followed by a numbers game, and a special edition of Live Bet Christmas to guide you through the early action. In the afternoon and evening, we'll keep the insights coming with Follow the Money, VSiN Primetime, and Cashing Out. So even if your routine shifts during the holidays, your betting coverage doesn't have to. From bowl season to NFL action, plus the NBA's holiday slate, VSiN is your home for holiday betting coverage.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Overtime cash is 12-1. 2-point conversion 3-1. Charbonnet first touchdown 10-1. Will a quarterback throw for 400 yards? Yes, 8-1. Ferguson anytime 6-1. Could have had 2. Should have had 2. How are you? What did the guy come in? He didn't know the play? I can't believe the offensive line.
There were many plays, like Stafford missing all the way down. You know, I mean, he missed a couple of guys last night that were completely wide open.
Yeah.
There's also this. Got me to thinking. Book should actually offer ladder bets with 2-point conversions.
It should. I know.
In that rare spot where a team's going to be down by 16, they're going to go for it multiple times.
3 for 3. Come on.
Oh, come on. Yes.
Barner anytime plus 240. Quarterbacks to have 700 yards passing combined 20-1. Wow. Defensive special teams touchdown, yes, plus 280. Pelicans surprised the Rockets plus 330. Mavs beat the Pistons plus 220. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. You guys have been great the last couple months sending this in. Phenomenal job. This is a cane corso, I believe. You know, we had the French bull, the bulldog who likes to attack the garbage cans. This guy's going after the inflatable snowmen in the yard. And he's a cane corso going to do some damage. He grabs it and he just takes it. He takes it down the street. That thing's huge. Runs right into it, grabs it, takes it. All right, that's my new toy. Off I go.
Yeah, that's a fun conversation with your neighbor.
Yeah, no kidding. You can have it. I just say you can have it. Go ahead.
Hey, you know that 9-foot snowman you have outside? Yeah, that's no longer there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tank coming at you. And he just takes the snowman and off he goes. Forget about it. And this is also not good. You knew how this was going to end. This wasn't going to go well. She knew it. This is on Instagram. As soon as she put it up, I said, this tree won't last a day. As the dogs keep taking the ornaments, and every couple minutes they're finding more. I grab this one. I take it. Peekaboo. Hide and seek, right? Takes it. What are you doing? You can't take the ornaments off the tree. What's wrong
off
with
the
you?
ornament. Yeah, sure.
That's right. They're just grabbing left and right, and it's a game between the two, and going right up and taking the ornaments. Piece of cake. Yeah, that wasn't. Oh man, just making a mess. Can't get enough of the ornaments. Lose some. The under last night, 46.5 down to 42. Never had a chance. No. What bad weather? Come on, right?
I feel like the Rams should have been up by at least 2 scores in that first half.
Yeah, fair enough. And a bad beat that happened earlier today in a bowl game. Western Michigan, Kennesaw State, if you played over 47.5, fell 47. 2 missed extra points. Nothing in the last 19 minutes of the game.
0. Western Michigan had 27 in the first quarter.
Yeah. As Pat Forty tweeted, I don't think Kennesaw State practiced after the Conference USA title game.
And the line was 3.5?
Yeah, that was easy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you get those no-shows.
Yeah.
For the line move, Sharp Plays already there. They don't just follow the market. They help shape it. Advanced AI plays, powered by Advanced AI, and the plays are up 50 units, connected to proven insider sources, active across all sports. And we'll talk about it. He'll be active tonight in the fight. Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors rely on. Free reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X-feed. Since 2011, they've backed it up with documented results, public logs, and transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by pros, monitored by the books. Jeff and the crew have been at it since 2011. Stay ahead of the line. SharpPlays.com.
You know, there is a, quote, big boxing match tonight in Miami. Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. Joshua now is back up to about a $14 favorite here. And on the take back, Jake Paul is 8-1. I talked to a couple of books earlier today. Mike Palm here at Circa. Paul, they've had more people booking booths here at the sports book, and maybe they even applies for Stadium Swim, I don't know, for the fight than Oklahoma, Alabama. Jeff Sherman at the Westgate said, picking up today, nowhere close to Paul Tyson or Mayweather-McGregor. Mayweather-McGregor is going to be all-timer, I think. But they did take some sharp support at minus 1,000 on Joshua. You want to be on the right side of the fix?
Don't fight corruption. Get on the right side of it.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't. How about over 2.5 rounds, $1.55?
Okay.
You don't want to think they put on a show for him, or
Why
at least
not?
it's right?
This is Paul. From what I understand, this is Paul's production company, and he's whatever he's worth now, not billions, but tons of millions of dollars here. Joshua's making a boatload of money because of him.
Well, yeah, it shouldn't be close, right?
Shouldn't be, in theory.
Strange stuff happens in boxing. There's always shenanigans.
Yep.
Either fighter to be knocked down in rounds 1 through 3 is minus $5 at DraftKings.
Wow.
That's surprising.
Okay,
I just think remember, we were all so disappointed and disgusted by the Tyson fight. Maybe they just play patty cake for 25 minutes.
I know. We're going to get into this Alabama-Oklahoma game in a minute. There's a big difference between these two offenses right now, but let me pay out the teaser real quick. I said there's a great trend in a game featuring two of the worst teams in the NFL. It's Jets-Saints.
Mm-hmm.
In NFL post-Thanksgiving Day games where there is only a one-win difference between the opponents, and odds makers have installed the team with the better record as a favorite at 3 points or more, which the Saints are, up to 6.5 now. That favored team is 74-18 straight up and 66% ATS since 2017. Now, am I telling you to run out and bet the Saints right now because of that trend? No, specifically because it moved 2 points. What do you have in pocket? 4.5?
Yeah.
But I think that this is going to be, all signs are pointing towards another really good game here for rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck.
9-1 under run for the Saints. 0-12-2 first quarter money line. 2-12 ATS first quarter. Jets, no interceptions.
Yep.
Does it come to an end? They have tied the record here, and set the record rather. And then the record is the 2018 Niners only had 2 picks the whole season. Jets still looking for their first one. Incredible.
Doesn't matter who they play at quarterback. Doesn't matter who they have a coach. It's been an abomination. Against non-conference teams since 2015, Jets are 14-32 ATS. That's 30%. Also, how about the road record as a dog? Since 2016, they're 12-51 straight up and 21-40 ATS. Every which way you slice it here, the numbers are going to be terrible on this team.
Are you surprised Oklahoma's now favored? I know it's been ugly for Alabama, and they were lucky to beat Auburn and how bad they played in the SEC title game. They haven't played a good game since the Tennessee game in mid-October. But how, unless there's turnovers or a big play, how does Oklahoma score? Needed 2 broken coverages to beat LSU at home in a game they had to have 17-13.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Missouri 17-6. They were losing late in the second half, hit an 85-yard touchdown on a slant. The Bama game, they were outgained 2-1. Bama had 3 turnovers. They did play well against Tennessee, 33-27. Mateer hasn't been the same since the injury. It's a great story. They were plus money to go over 8.5 wins. A big price to make the playoff. But this offense has been absolutely horrendous. And just to show you here with this tweet about look at these scoring drives going back here with Oklahoma. They must have a big play or take the ball away, or they're not going to do anything offensively. 5-play drive, 7-play drive, 4-play drive. It's great. If Alabama doesn't turn it over, they should win this game.
Right. This is a great tweet from Clint Lamb, who points out that, to detail exactly what you're talking about here, Paulie, Oklahoma, and he's got like the last 10 scoring drives for Oklahoma in their last 3 SEC games, 9 scoring drives for Bama, last 3 games as well. Like, for example, Oklahoma, 42-yard punt return to the Bama 30, 5 plays, 23 yards field goal. Fumble return, 2 plays, 31 yards touchdown. Everything was set up by the defense or the special teams. Meanwhile, Alabama's scoring drives are 6 plays, 64 yards, 15 plays, 75 yards, 9 plays, 91 yards, all resulting in touchdowns other than one, which was a field goal. I thought Oklahoma was going to take money in this game, and I pondered betting them plus a point or point and a half the entire time. But now that they're favored, I don't want anything to do with them, to be honest. And in fact, you're not supposed to do this with college games, but it's a super low total.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of books right now with Oklahoma at minus 1.5. I do not hate the idea of Bama plus 7.5 on a teaser. And I know other people will hear that and scoff and say, oh, you're never supposed to tease a college game. Okay, but this is also a playoff game here where loser's dead, winner advances. So it's not like a typical bowl game, obviously. And you give me more than... Is Oklahoma going to blow them out tonight?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure they can do that.
They got the best kicker in college football and maybe the second best kicker in the world behind Aubrey, Tate Sandell. Made all of his extra points and was 23 of, this is unheard of, 23 of 24 on field goals. Won the Lou Groza Award.
For a college kid?
Yeah. And he'll play in the NFL. So Oklahoma can put those 3 points in their back pocket anytime they want. And the kid's got a big leg, too. So that could decide it. But we all watched the first game.
I know.
I mean, it was total domination.
It was.
But it was just 3 silly turnovers, and this is why Oklahoma got in and made the playoff.
Yeah. This is from our buddy Andrew on the Fight Tonight. I've been a boxing fan my entire life. If Joshua doesn't knock his head off, it's literally complete WWE, and I'll never watch a sport ever again.
Yeah.
I think that's the way a lot of people feel about it.
Yeah. Does he quote carry him though? I agree with that. But does he just say let's at least give him a show and go 4 rounds?
Right. Sure. We'll get best bets in the NFL